Today we'll learn what is resume. First, we'll learn how resume helps you. It creates a professional, favorable impression. It allows you to control the presentation of your skills on paper. It encourages an employer to call you to arrange an interview. Moreover, it gives employers something to look at before you fill out any applications they may require. It maintains goodwill between you and your employer. These are 5 different ways how resume helps you. So for writing your resume, what you need to do is first, you need to assess your strengths. There are different 5 aspects which you need to consider in your mind. Number 1 is education. Number 2 is employment. Number 3 is accomplishments. Number 4 is skills. And number 5 is character or personality traits. Now, first we'll see what is your strength in your education career. Let's see. What is your grade point average GPA in your graduation or before graduation, and in all your degrees? You have to consider your GPA or your average or your percentage. Second point is you have to see what special classes have prepared you for a particular job. Always remember, whenever you're applying for a job, you have to consider the advertisement. According to the requirement of advertisement, you have to assess your educational strength, that what subjects or what classes have you taken to justify yourself for that position. Number 3 is what degrees do you hold? And number 4 is where did you go to school and when did you graduate? After education, second aspect is employment. Remember, there is possibility that you have not done any job before that. You are a fresh graduate. For that, you can consider your internships, right? But if you have already done different jobs, so employment can be your strength. So you have to observe it. Number 1, what jobs have you held? It means you have to consider and what designations have you done your jobs and what designations have you been working on. Number 2 is you have to write the job title, city and state and date for each job you now have or have previously held. Then you have to consider the description of your duties. You have to describe your duties and special projects on your job. But remember, you have to be specific. You have to consider what jobs, what duties, what responsibilities can make you favorable for the job you are applying for. After considering employment and different strengths regarding employment, you have to focus on another aspect, and that is accomplishments. Accomplishments means what achievements do you have in your education, in your job, or even in your society. Let's see what they are. You have to list your accomplishments, like scholastic means during education, job related, extracurricular, or community over the last several years. See what achievement have you got regarding these different aspects. Include any honors or awards you received Consider what awards, what honors you have received. Then what skills do these accomplishments and honors illustrate? And third one is, would these skills be useful in the workplace? And always remember, you are doing it just like homework before going to prepare your resume. After considering education, your job, and your accomplishments, your fourth aspect of strength can be skills, your personal skills that you have been using during your job and in other fields of life. Number one, what are your special talents? Number two, what can you do well? Number three, are you a good problem solver, creative thinker, or good communicator? Do you have special skill sets with computers, machinery, sales? Make a list, even if it overlaps with something you have already written. After considering your skills, you will focus on your personal character or personality or your personality traits. Think about it. Are you dependable, honest, and flexible? Are you outgoing, calm, and optimistic? Do you have a good sense of humor? These are 5 different strengths will you focus on before going to write a resume. After focusing on these strengths, you are going to consider your prospective employer. You will research your prospective employer. What points you are going to consider in your mind? Let's see. Who will be responsible for making the decision to hire you? An individual or a committee? Second thing, if it is an individual, what position does that person hold? Number 3, what skills is he or she looking for in an employee? Number 4, what can you find out about the company, its mission statement, its current projects, its organization, its openings, or its past record? What can you learn about the position for which you are applying? Now you will consider your references. You have to choose your references carefully. Those references should have some qualities. First, we need to know what is a reference. A reference is a person who knows you well enough to vouch for your skills and your character. So always remember, this person should feel comfortable making positive statements about your work performance, giving examples of your accomplishments, and answering specific questions from a prospective employer. After this, always remember, you have to consider who reads employment communication. You have to consider who is going to consider your resume. So there are 2. Number 1 is employer's perspective, and number 2 is employer's expectations. Means, what is the employer's perspective, what he looks for, and then employer's expectations means that what he expects from you. Let's see them in detail. Employer's perspective. Employers seek someone whose credentials meet their company's needs, whose personality fits with their current staff, whose career plan complements their goals. Employers are interested in an applicant's education, experience, skills, work habits, and personal and professional integrity. Now we'll see employers' expectations, what employer expects from you. Your Prospective employer expects your communication to conform to standard employment protocol. So your employment communication must contain no errors, resumes with misspellings, typos, and punctuation errors are routinely cast aside during initial screenings. Look neat and professional. For example, a resume with smeared ink or one whose print is too light makes the writer look careless. To look professional, resumes should be printed in letter quality print on bonded heavy stiff paper. Employment communication must follow an accepted format. A resume that is too long, for example, or one that is printed on colored paper or uses an eccentric design looks as though the writer did not know how to format a resume properly. Your employment communication must emphasize your best qualities, even if you think you may be bragging. Next one is formatting and organizing resumes. Because employers may spend no more than 15 to 45 seconds looking at your resume during the initial screening, you must make the resume memorable. Here you have the opportunity to show off your skills with page design, using special features, appropriate headings, and organizational schemes. Now you have to make your resume stand out. What will you do? The resume must impress a reader in little space, little time you have. Most impressive qualifications to jump out at the employer during his or her first glance at your resume. Leave white space, allowing ample margins. Use special features such as bold facing, underlining, italicizing, capitalizing, bullets, or asterisks. Headings should be easy to spot. The font should be easy to read, Times New Romans, Calibri, or Arial, for example, in 10 to 12 point type. Now we'll consider parts of resume. First part is identification or main heading. What will you consider in it? First, your name, your complete name, your complete address, your telephone numbers, your email address. See the example. So, Cassie J. Japson, 1103 Wood Road, Boscobel, WI 53805, then home number, then cell number, and then email is given. Second part after heading is career objective. Career objectives are most appropriate for specific targeted positions. It should be written from the employer's perspective, not your own. Focus on how you can contribute to the organization, not on what the organization can do for you. Your career objective should not downplay your talents. Limit your objective to no more than 2 or 3 lines. Avoid using complete sentences and the pronoun I. Example, see, seeking position with financial services organization installing accounting software and providing user support where computer experience and proven communication and interpersonal skills can be used to improve operations. See how comprehensive objective is written here. Now, another part of resume is summary of qualifications. A summary of qualifications section lists your most impressive accomplishments and qualifications in one concise bulleted list. A summary at the top of your resume makes it easier to read and ensures that your most impressive qualifications are not overlooked by a recruiter. A summary of qualifications will include 3 to 8 bulleted statements that prove you are the ideal candidate for the position. Now, see the example. There are almost 5 main points related to your whole career are written here. After summary of qualification, education comes. The education section shows degrees and GPA, but does not list all courses a job applicant has taken. Include the name and location of schools, dates of attendance, major fields of study, GPA, and degrees received from colleges as well as universities. See the example. After education, if you have done so many jobs or you have done a job, you will mention work experience. In it, you will include employer's name, city, and state, dates of employment, month and year, most important job title, significant duties, activities, accomplishments, and promotions. And remember, state means when you are in the United States, there you have different states, but it's not necessary that everywhere in every country you have different states. So remember, it will be used according to the country you are living in. See the example. Remember, verbs play important role in writing resume. Look at certain verbs: accelerated, achieved, analyzed, collaborated, conceptualized, constructed, converted, designed, directed, enabled, encouraged, engineered, established, expanded, expedited, facilitated, improved, increased, introduced, managed, organized, originated, overhauled, pioneered, reduced, resolved, restructured, reviewed, revitalized, screened, served, spearheaded, spurred, strengthened, targeted, transformed. But you have to consider what kind of job, what kind of responsibility you performed. According to that, you will choose the best appropriate verb out of this list. Now, the next part is capabilities and skills. Emphasize the skills and aptitudes that prove you are qualified for a specific position. Let's see the example. In this example, see organizational and management skills are talked about. Helped conceptualize, organize, and conduct highly effective campus campaign to register student voters, then scheduled events and arrange weekend student retreat for marketing club, trained and supervised 2 counter employees at Pizza Planet, organized courses, extracurricular activities, and part-time employment to graduate in 7th semester. Now, awards, honors, and activities. See the example. And later, you will consider references. In this way, you will write different references. I hope you have understood it very well. Thank you for watching.